This is my first time to see
Okay.
Instagram.
Alright, everyone say
Project Cheese.
blockchain gaming.
Say blockchain gaming. Cheese, blockchain gaming. Blockchain gaming.
I like this one. You're literally like
He works at
Yeah. Alright, and we're live, by the way. Yeah, we're also live, yeah. Alright, although that joking, hey, although we had the joking picture, we actually just went live right then too. That's how the stream started. Yeah, so welcome everybody to another episode of blockchaingaming.com something meetup.
Blockchaingaming.com meetup.
Meetup, awesome, yeah. So this is about the 8th or 9th that we've done. I think we've had we've had a lot of guests, almost every single one, except when there was a bit of car trouble, so we're on a really good track record. Today we've got, your name is?
I was Patrick Meehan from
Volition. They're making a new card game on Volition.
Where's this thing going?
Yeah, we've got lasers today. Thank you for our laser man in the back. Thought we'd spice things up. We're as always broadcasting from D-Control Community Commons in Vancouver. We're kind of blockchain weird basement space. So if you're in Vancouver watching this, you should come by. There's always events. Check out our meetup page and stuff.
And now we have a pool table.
Yeah, we got a cool deal now. Things change around here a lot. So, why don't we get started asking Mr. Already.
Patrick,
Okay. I won't forget again. Yeah, Patrick.
I found him on LinkedIn, so I saw his name more.
Oh, okay.
So, right.
Yeah, so why don't you tell us about what you've been working on and start us off?
Yeah, so I'm working on a collectible card game called Volition, and it's a print-on-demand game. We're using the blockchain to track the game assets. And so if you have a blockchain and you have a printer, then you can print out and play Volition.
Oh, okay.
On the surface, that sounds very kind of high concept, but when I start getting into it, really we're exploring the notions of collectability and what that means in the print-on-demand world. We're exploring some alternative ways of thinking about governance and decentralized business models. So it started as for one hot moment a potential startup, and now it's more fully into an art project.
Oh, okay, awesome.
I have a slightly humorous question.
Please.
So on LinkedIn, when I found you, you called yourself an ICO skeptic and cryptocurrency as well, but you are a cryptographer.
Let me be clear. I'm a developer who understands cryptographic systems,
But you
but
don't
I'm not a cryptographer.
define the difference.
Well, a cryptographer, I think, should be able to go deep into the math of cryptography. I think developers should understand that they're not cryptographers and be very careful with cryptographic systems. And so I'm advanced enough that I can create a cryptographic system, design cryptographic systems, but I'm not a mathematician.
So, but you do think the blockchain is useful for cryptographic verification?
Well, that's a whole other question. The blockchains can be a cryptographic system.
Some people separate it, like there are people who are skeptical of cryptocurrency but believe in blockchain, cryptocurrency, and crypto utility.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
Is that where you're going for?
What
does the card look like? So it's not an NFT, I'm guessing.
No, it's not an NFT. Part of the reason we chose print on demand is we want the assets to be fully realizable, very little additional investment. And so just trying an NFT that gives you a right to some asset in a server-based game, to me defeats a lot of the reason. And I can speak to some of those projects. There's a lot of them right now.
Yeah.
What's exciting to me is creating something that truly is fully self-contained. The utility is immediately realizable. If that makes sense.
So if not in NFT format, in what fashion is information about our cards stored on the blockchain?
It's stored as tables, little tables, little key value pair tables.
Is that so different from storing it as an NFT? Like, what blockchain do you guys use?
I store an NFT, not to get there are a lot of projects that just store a key, right? It's a pay key, and then you have to go plug it into a server somewhere, and they'll create an asset for you. But somebody controls that server.
Yeah.
You have a centralized server. The server's got your assets uses.
Yeah.
Right?
In most NFT games.
In most NFT games. So in our case, I think.
Can you define an NFT for anybody?
Sorry, non-fungible token, CryptoKitties, Spells of Genesis, game stuff on the blockchain.
Yeah, I think the key word there is token, right?
Yeah, it's basically a token. It's like this token is a cat, this token is a card, this token is a this.
Yeah. A token of it talks to the CryptoKitties servers. Yeah.
Your characters, weapons, items are tokenized now, like anything.
Yeah. Where were we?
I was just interested in your consideration of like wanting to use the blockchain but not wanting to use an NFT. You know, we're hinting at an alternative format for using blockchain to track ownership.
Yeah.
It's different from what a lot of people, especially the NFT people, are touting at this moment.
It is, and like I said, we've done a lot of introspection about what's important to us, and we made many decisions we'll live or die by. We're not at all necessarily towing the community line on the right next steps. There are a lot of things to pick apart. We've made some controversial decisions, and that's one of them. We wanted the support for the asset data to be fundamental to the chain, so there's no additional service you're relying on. So if you make a great big maximalist AAA game that has assets on the blockchain, that's great. Somebody's got to do the work of maintaining that and running those servers and taking out that expense. That's centralized. There are plenty of other ways to do it. Yeah, you can have a decentralized data pool. We can all agree that there's tokens have value in that, so anybody can spin up the data. So we're a lot more in that camp, but we're relying heavier on the chain for that purpose of the ads and try to minimize off-chain content.
Which chain?
That's a very good question. It's called Volition, and I'll be releasing a beta of it in the next.
So, are you doing your own chain for it? Okay.
You said
Cool. Yeah, lots of questions.
You said you were a cryptocurrency skeptic.
I said that it's ICO detractor, and you can hire me to mock your ICO. If you have any ICOs you need,
It also
fun of
says
it, right?
crypto-
Yeah, that's kind of how we got around here too. There's a lot of that's the general
You're
feeling.
happy to make fun of
So
it.
you're not against all crypto. Will not. If you launch a blockchain, don't you have to have a token on your chain associated with it?
Yeah, well, the story behind the LinkedIn profile, and I am very skeptical. My skepticism runs deep, and I'll talk
Are you doing an ICO for your chain?
for hours. Absolutely not.
Okay, good.
But you will have a token
You're right.
or a coin.
Well, yes and no. But my skepticism about the profile is you put ICO or blockchain in your profile and you get solicited every minute, every 10 minutes, right? And so eventually,
scare them
I
away.
just said I don't like ICOs. Stop bothering me. I don't know about your currency. I'm not interested in investing. Go away. And it kind of worked. It kind of worked. I should have just removed all.
Some of them are probably like, I see you have cryptocurrency in your profile.
Yeah, it's pretty.
You're like, yeah,
the
they don't read
profile.
it.
Yeah.
Get those two.
This guy's got a question?
So for your blockchain work something, or you're building something?
Yeah, we're gonna get all of this.
I was gonna
Yeah,
ask.
Yeah.
When you described it as a database, I figured maybe you might go like Namecoin fork route.
like a
That's kind
decentralized
of how
chain.
HunterCoin does
I
it.
think it's the goal to have a decentralized chain.
Yeah, it's a decentralized chain. To answer your question, no, I did not. I'm arrogant and foolish, and also a programmer, so I decided to go ahead myself.
What's the consensus model and incentivization like for people?
That's part of what we're exploring. I think there's no ground between permissionless public and private blockchains.
I think you should consider at least talking to the Zaya team about how their chain looks.
Okay.
Because they have a similar thing where, like, you've identified that the current NFT standard that most of NFT games and their backers are going for relies on central servers.
Correct.
There is a group inventing a chain beyond that, but it's still nascent.
Yeah.
And theirs is a Namecoin derivative.
Okay.
Because, like you said, we're looking at Tatum. In their game, for example, you're storing a map. It's basically an array.
Mhm.
Everything has a tile. If it's a 3D game, it's a 3D array.
Sure.
And they have that. That's not so difficult to store. So they do everything that way. They don't use NFTs basically
Mhm.
in their system this way.
Well, I think that's great. I'd love to look into what they're doing.
But they make them like you can in Namecoin you can transfer a domain name or right to a piece of data.
Mhm.
That's key. It has to be that's people like NFTs because they're hyper transferable.
Right.
What's key is that your things are still hyper transferable.
That's right.
They're not NFTs.
That's right.
Will they be?
Of course. Absolutely. Decentralized, transferable.
Something like he asked you what your consensus model will be.
Yeah, that's the confusing part. So if you're making your own
Maybe he
chain,
doesn't know yet.
Yeah, well, there are a couple of things. There's governance,
About it.
consensus model, consensus algorithm.
yeah.
So,
I mean, consensus model is most intriguing to me.
If we're
This is like
say,
because you're
human
doing your own.
mining,
Yeah, I mean, you can't be a work chain at this point, right? So
why not?
no, he's gonna
Everyone's
launch.
going
No, he launched
for
his
the
own game chain. People could just wreck him. He wouldn't have enough proof of work needs lots of market share,
that's correct.
right?
Yeah, I
So
would not. I wouldn't say a lot of the work.
proof of stake needs distribution to be there. So
That's right.
usually people do a transition from work to stake where they distribute with proof of work and then transfer out from environment. That's just a terrible argument, by the way, people.
Yeah.
Bitcoin is great for the environment.
I bet a lot of multiplayer games will go the proof of authority route.
Yeah, where you just basically put your stuff in someone else's control, and while it's there, it's still yours, and you trust that there's like 6 or 7 people that have to all agree to steal it. You're like, okay, they're probably not going to team up and steal it, you know, and like because otherwise their game would suck, right? So you're trusting that while it's there. So for a while, like an ETH token would be like, you know, when you buy it, sure, it's on Ethereum. When you use it, it would be like in this little authority network where you go off to the side.
Yeah, proof of authority is an interesting one, particularly if you're buying something that's permissionless, right? Because then it's kind of a blind trust as opposed to trustless. You're trusting.
Yeah.
You're just kind of hoping that everybody behaves.
Yeah, or that you're hoping that at least like X%
couple.
They're
behave.
incentivized to behave.
Yeah, they're incentivizing you. You're trusting the system still. Yeah, but the same.
You know what I should talk about is what we're calling a lawful public protocol, and it's somewhere along the spectrum, closer to proof of authority, a step away from permissionless. We don't think that for this project we need many of the features of permissionless, so that opens the door to some other things we need. We don't really care about anonymity and the stuff that needs like strong claims around permissionless. It's not important. This is a game, so that frees us up to do not a proof of authority, but something a lot closer to that. And so I don't want to dig in too far into the technical pieces simply because I'm working on it and I'm going to release the beta soon.
Nice.
And there'll be white papers and you guys can read the code, read the white paper, and decide what proof it is.
It's not terrible if you answer this question.
You can name it after I release the white paper and code.
Okay, it's not terrible if you answer this with ICO because most of the other ones didn't. But like, what's the funding model like? So, is that part of like? There's no token. Like, how are you building this game?
The funding model is it's because there's no token doesn't mean okay. Well, in terms of our funding model,
Yeah, like what's the business model of like the overall project?
Yeah,
like,
so-
that's one of the tricky things.
Yeah. Well, early last year we thought, well, let's see, let's take a look. I had talked to some ICO people in Seattle in 2017. Already at the time, I was like, this is scary. I know there are ways to do it. I've done enough initial startups, but I kind of know my way around regulations. And I thought this particular project, of all the ones we looked at and decided to kind of move forward, this one's quirky enough that I thought let's just do it with a small team. Let's self-fund it. So we basically have a team of 3. I'm coding it. Our designer, Ken, is in Florida, and he and I worked on a project in the past. And so fortunately, we've been able to get most of the way just on our own. So there's a story where we put it out there, and then to see what happens, we'll be able to go to market in essence, or in reality, miners will be able to go to market and sell the packs they mine immediately. And we'll see if the business spins up. We'll see if at that stage it's worth taking on some investment. But the amount of work and time to either do traditional venture funding or to go to an ICO in that time, we probably could have just made the project a couple times over. So we're really just focused on that.
Good call there. Yeah, that's interesting. I don't even let that slip. Of mining packs. I like the sound of that.
Oh, that's what I'm here to talk about.
Yeah, mining packs.
Mine some booster packs.
Mine some booster packs. Yeah, secure the network. Yeah, make people's games work.
Yeah.
Like confirm gameplay for other people and mine some packs for yourself.
Like the block reward on your chain is a booster pack?
It is. Yeah, we won't mine any packs for ourselves. We're not taking any packs.
No free mining packs.
Instead of a coin.
So you don't have the coin native to your chain,
So right now we're gonna
like a Volition coin.
Yeah, so I think we've gone around on this, and there are a lot of questions about it. And we certainly support a non-chain coin, trivially, but in reality, we don't want the chain to be about speculation on coins. For us, the nicest model will be to bind to some other asset and have transactions on the chain be fast, but get people in and out to some other asset that's easy for them to get. And so it'll be a long time before that's
Yeah, that's
dollars.
always away.
In the short term, other currencies are pretty.
So we'll speculate on cards instead of speculating on
Yeah,
coins.
we want you to speculate on non-fungibles,
Right.
not currency.
I mean, you're always speculating.
Yes.
Just not on coins
Oh,
now on.
But by design, speculate on the cards, and then
Yeah.
the cards are non-fungible. They have histories, so you can customize them. It's a fantastic thing to speculate on.
Here's an interesting question that I think she was
camera can't see her, audience member,
She's right there.
was asking about the genre of your game, because we've been talking technically up until now.
Yeah,
What is the setting? What is the background? What are...
it is a kind of a fantasy superhero pastiche. I contacted my buddy Ken Fu, who is a comics illustrator.
Did you say King Fu?
Ken Fu.
Ken?
Ken Fu.
Like his name is Ken.
His name is Ken.
Oh, okay.
His last name is Fu.
That's dope.
And he is
Well, that
a.
was just a kung fu joke you make about your buddy named Ken.
No, gosh, I don't know if you like that. I don't know if you appreciate the nickname. Ken Fu is a comics illustrator out of Singapore I worked with on a previous project. And I called him up and kind of gave him the big picture of this very eclectic pastiche IP, because part of the theme here is chaos and creativity. And so if you go on the site and look at the art he's produced, it's eccentric in a very special way. And so it sets the stage. You know, we'll start rolling out this IP because people love IPs, and we had a lot of fun doing our last one many years ago, which was the Spoils. And so we'll be rolling out our own mythos. But part of what I really hope people will do with this card game is customize the cards. We'll support a path for people to put their own art on cards and write their own flavor text with all that applied. So I want to see what people do with that. And I've heard a lot of theories about what people will do with it. And,
Well, as long as they can't write the effective elements like power, attack, and stuff, right?
it will be customizable, but in a limited, controlled
Yeah, in
way.
a multiplayer setting.
Yeah, it will be customizable.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be cool if Magic did that. But then it's like when I play, will I see his customized version of the card or mine? Or maybe mine for mine and his for his.
Yeah.
And then it's like, what if my kid is 12 and he's a 30-year-old weirdo and his customized version of his cards? That's just profane things in the description.
That's a risk you run if you send your kid unattended to the game shop. They might be some 30-year-old weirdos.
Yeah, you ever been on Steam, man? It's
Yeah.
like,
You might have to complain to
I
them.
am the 30-year-old.
you are the 30-year-old leader. Yeah, you're like, wait a minute. I'm describing myself.
I'm just saying.
How did this
You have
happen?
to stop us.
Yeah, how did this happen so quickly?
You are the Steam monster.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like there will be an exercise in freedom of expression and consequences. Because remember, this is a print-on-demand game.
Well, that's an advantage server-based games have, right? When it's server-based, they can't take away you owning the item, but they can change the way the graphics and text of it are interpreted to other users playing the game.
But how infuriating. How upsetting. If you're signing up for a decentralized game where you can express yourself, that would make
It's
you angry.
not, you know? I mean, conversely, and I use the 100 coin example all the time, bad things can happen in moderators.
Yeah, this can happen. Yeah.
Well, I'd say that story too many. Have you heard of 100 coin? It's a decentralized game wherein it has no mods or admins, and it became unsustainable in that a player got too powerful and manipulated the rules and took over the game.
That's just bad game design.
Well,
camper.
you gotta think.
What's the product? What are we all agreeing to play?
How many years ahead into your game can you think before you can? You know, it takes a lot of foresight to design an MMO. And even like with a game like EVE Online, EVE Online, they have a trained economist who's actually produced novel research through his experiments in the EVE Online economy. His job is daily. Daily, he has to figure like, oh man, the inflation rate's getting too high in EVE. And he actually goes in and uses their server to adjust things.
Yeah, well, it's the hand of God ability, but remember, we're making a trading card game.
Sure.
And I chose that genre deliberately based on our experience and based on the properties of trading card games.
Yeah.
And the fact that we're making a print-on-demand game.
Yeah, so print on demand.
People are going to play it in the real world.
Yeah, so the idea being what you own, you can just print out whenever, and so can anyone else. Then, or you just throw it out when you're done, print it again later, or you're like, you just print it out every time you get a new card.
However you want to do it.
However you want to do it, and then
So it's
that's
like,
you can go.
yeah. So it's like I can go, I can have some cards, I can print them out, I can put my friend face to face. Then let's say they're on pieces of paper, and then I rip them up, throw them in the garbage, and then if he wants my card, I can then sell it to him, or I can transfer owner. I can
What kind of printer do you need?
Well,
don't Magic cards printed not on standard printer paper?
Yeah, so it really is up to your taste as a gamer and what you and your gaming group want.
Are willing to put up with.
And what do you put
I
up
don't
with
want
that?
some
But also,
flimsy paper, man. I don't need the shiny cardboard.
You get a better printer than I'd head down the street.
yeah,
There's some places to take big ones around
go
here.
invest in hey, print them out on a 3D printer or laser CNC. Or,
Is there an online and offline element? Like, or is it like when we play in real life, is it only cards?
yeah, so there's
Or are we like,
yeah, the meta game is online, but that's the meta game of deck building, customizing your cards, opening packs. So that's online. But we're not doing any AR component for the game. In my design, I want as little around the actual realization games as possible. And so there are a lot of really cool AR games we've done, but outside of the scope, what we want to explore.
Just realized.
okay.
How many cards are you actually planning on having? Assets.
Oh, it'll be like any other card game. We'll do multiple releases a year of several hundred cards, like any other CCG.
What determines the value? Just like the demand? Is it going to be like the artist, or is it going to be
We
like
do.
the cards weighted equally? So like one could be speed, one could be, you know.
Yeah, it's hard for me to tell you what determines the value of any collectible, but there is a rarity schedule. So when you open a pack, you'll get a schedule of X ultra rares, X rares, X commons.
And that's all still randomly generated.
The contents of the pack will be unpredictable, verifiable.
And is that like just like a hash? Like you just send the user a hash and then it's just like, that's my card now?
It's a bit more than that. We track cards on the chain that's non-fungibles, and there's a multi-step process to open a pack that involves multiple lines and can create that unpredictable, verifiable behavior. But you'll see for the release, here are all our cards. These are the rares, these are the ultra rares, commons, or foils, and you'll know what your odds are whenever the pack's open.
I just realized your business model could be similar in many ways to Nintendo's in capitalizing on the sale of peripheries. If I need a printer to print the cards or to do other physical things with my digital assets, I don't think there's another company right now, or at least not one that I know of, selling a machine for printing physical game cards because it's assumed we purchase them. You could sell that yourself. Their peripheral hardware sales could be a leading. I bet Nintendo, that like each console, they get their margins that way. Or is that your plan?
That is a thing that we have considered, but it's not our plan. But it's something that I hope people will do, particularly if the model of releasing a collectible game this way catches on and more sophisticated items need to be manufactured, such as miniatures. Then there's an interesting thing there. And to answer your question, what kind of printer you need, it can be anything from your desktop LaserJet to a print-on-demand service, and which can do very sophisticated UV coating, foiling, just even a higher quality than you would get with a mass-produced printing.
Yeah, if you went to one of the print shops around here,
Really?
yeah,
I
you could
assume
probably get
so.
some really nice ones done, I assume. Yeah.
I assumed they had special equipment or something.
Yeah, the print shops, they got good ones.
They have the same thing?
Probably pretty good ones. Probably not as good as like Magic cards. But
Actually-
they probably just outsource that shit somewhere else anyway these days.
You know, Magic is a mass-produced product. You know,
Yeah.
they have
You
a
think a
special card
local
stock.
print shop could replicate the same quality?
A print-on-demand printer can do some pretty interesting stuff, and so the same quality is different from saying better quality.
Yeah,
Well, it look the same. Like, I want to not tell if it came from
Yeah.
Wizards of the Coast or
Yeah.
from some print
Yeah.
shop.
Yes.
You could do that.
yeah,
Just they can't
it's
see
good.
it.
Yeah, shit's cheap these days.
Card stock, 4-color process, UV coating, foil.
Question.
So
Could I? Let's say I'm playing with somebody, and I give them, and you know, we're playing like somebody with Magic or Pokemon. Or whatever. You know, they beat me, and then I give them the card, right? If I give them the card, would that be an off-chain transaction, or we have to go online and I have to actually send them the card? I can't just give them the physical one. He's like, okay, I own this now. Now I can scan it and pull it back into my
depends
wallet
on
or deck.
how you depends on the trust level between you and how you prepare the card to give to them. There needs to be a permission from you,
Yeah.
and you can make that permission available to anybody who holds the card. So you can print a code and pull it around the back. So you can sleeve. Somebody takes it out, they scan it, it's theirs.
Got it.
That's up to you. But most cards will be printed without any means of transfer, so you will have to transfer on chain.
Okay.
You're going to transfer on chain anyway. But
You're gonna
go out to
you
initiate the
can
transaction.
like pre-authorize the physical copy
Right.
to do off-chain
Right.
if you know like
Cool. Exactly.
Yeah, you always have to trust that there's not another copy printed if you're the purchaser.
That's right.
Yeah, it's a weird situation to be in.
When I print a card, do I use like a seed Or how do I prove that this card was printed by me, the owner of the private key associated with this asset?
Well, each card each card has a code on it. So it's easy. So if somebody cares to verify, and we're going to see if people care about this. If you're playing in a sanctioned tournament,
Yeah, you're gonna have to check your
The
debt.
tournament's going to care, but they can check your debt pretty easily.
Very cool.
Yeah, and then when you play your buddies, you can just be like, bust out whatever card you want, right? Because you're already printing them anyway.
Depends on your buddies.
Yeah, it depends. Yeah, you have the fun tournament night, fun night where you're like, hey, bring whatever card you want.
Yeah.
I think Andrew was checking it.
Yeah, this guy
That's
checking the
you
cards.
guys,
Checking the cards is the fun, guys.
That's a game. It's part of the game.
Yeah,
point.
checking the cards is the fun part. Yeah, do you have any like fancy mechanics plans? Like, have you had card game experience in the past?
Yeah, so I was part of a startup in the mid 2000s called Tenacious Games, and we made a game called Spoils, and it was a really interesting experience. It's not something I'll probably ever do again. And I was not the designer of Spoils, but I was one of the founders, and we spent a lot of time positioning that game and creating a specific game for people who are already very familiar with Magic. And the designer we're working with now is a designer who took over that game and ran it for about a decade. What happened to us is we failed in our Series A. We were going out for a venture in 2007, and not a great time, and already hard to do for a game. And so even though we were getting some traction, and these games have great margins, before we did our marketing spend, we weren't able to continue. And so we wound up selling the game to a super fan in Denmark who continued to publish it for a decade after.
Oh, that's cool.
Looked like he didn't want the game to stop existing.
He loved the game.
He's like,
he
no, you
bought
can't
it.
stop.
He loved it. He loved it. He loved it. It's one of those things. You make something that weird, and they're gonna love it. So our designer has, basically my ask for this game was make something accessible, something straightforward. In terms of fancy mechanics, our goal here is not to reinvent the trading card game genre. It's to prove out a model for releasing collectible games. We really hope that other people repeat the model and can experiment with some wacky mechanics. And opens the door if you have a distribution model where you don't have to go print, pallets of card stock. Then you can maybe be a bit more experimental.
Yeah, with what you're doing. I like that. Yeah, I like the overall coming with a new model idea, because a lot of the stuff we always point out, it's kind of like a lot of the same stuff being done in different ways right now, and everyone's testing the waters. I think a lot of the situation too is avoiding being a gambling game, right? Is like an actual if you're dealing with anything blockchain, people already think you're a Ponzi, right? So then you're like, okay, we got to make sure we don't actually become one. If there's not actual is this bubbleable?
It happens when I talked to a potential investor or someone about our website before. I was like, blockchaingaming.com, and he was like, are you gonna get in trouble or sued? You can't do gaming. I was like, what?
Yeah,
what's wrong with video games?
Because
He was
it's
like,
gambling.
Video games. I thought you meant gambling.
Yeah, right
I was
away.
like, why would
gaming,
you think that?
The gaming commission, and
Yeah. Gaming means something different to older people.
Old people. God.
Older, dude. We're almost there, so mess around, man.
No, I'm never old. I'm always hip.
Yeah.
Stuff.
Says the 30-year-old.
Yeah, it says the steam creep.
Oh man, I deserve that. Let's screw you anyway. Enough about my steam creeping. We're running out of game stuff to talk about, right?
Never.
Can you show us something?
Yeah, there's nothing left. There's nothing to show, is there? We are. It doesn't pick up the stream very well, the projector. But I think you guys can see from over here.
Yeah,
I think I turned off the projector.
Apologize. We've been heads down developing and haven't invested in a while.
What's wrong with you? Other
Collateral.
projects
You guys
don't
have a
develop
website?
and just talk about what they're not doing.
All collateral.
Can't do
Is there a
that.
website?
Yeah, there's a website. It's VolitionCCG.com. Or just Google Volition Blockchain Card Game. But I don't know if the cameras can't see it. But yeah, you'll see some of the white paper, some fun art and Ken. There is a beta.
It's coming up on the game.
You can beta. Sign up, ask Ken to add you to the beta group. And,
Oh, is the beta live?
yeah, you can print and play, not of the chain, but of the game itself. If you wanted to play the card game without the customization features, the V1 of the card game, there are beta groups.
Oh, okay.
How
Yeah,
would you feel like beta testing?
I can't tell you. off the top of my head, not my
Yeah, there's like,
should be able to
Andy is pretty good.
Did you guys think of forking something? Like, because you can just fork a lot of blockchains that have already done it, and then like look at somebody else's mechanics, so it's less work.
Yeah, I had a mind melding 3 or 4 months of reading lots of white papers and I'm not a photographer reading all the different kinds of consensus models, and eventually we landed at the spot where what we want to do around governance is unique and weird enough, and also what we want to do in terms of making a purposeful chain specific enough that I decided what the heck, I'm just going to do it for it.
All right, let's check out the art. We got start off with the dragon, some cool fonts, some
There was a sun character.
some weeb shit, big swords, flaming bats. Yeah, this nerd girl flying on a wrestling midget. Black Ryu. We got Black Ryu doing a spin kick. Super dank spaceship with like a tank roof.
Nice. I drive that.
Big head mini Sailor Moon riding a cloud S&M donkey.
Are you sure it's not a sheep?
I think it's a llama.
S&M llama, yeah, it's a llama.
It is a llama.
Oh yeah, look, this is good. I'm glad I went through this in as much detail as I did.
Oh no.
Oh, it'll come back. Yeah, we're having trouble with our projector today. Let's see what else we got.
Oh, there was one. Oh,
yes.
there's the sun character.
Yeah, standard anime go. This is like Sun Metroid. This is like totally not Metroid from the back. This is like oh my god, it's like the head from the really old Transformers movie. I am, who was he? The planet one. Damn, I forgot.
It looks like
I am Unicron. This is one of the Unicron heads. That's who it is. She's doing a power move. Top half was Danker. Oh, there's the. Never mind. This guy's the dankest.
Yeah.
We have
play
a
it.
son.
It's a video. You can play it.
Yeah, but it's just Ken talking for like 7 minutes. I watched a little bit earlier, most of it. This is a different Street Fighter kick. Oh, there's a big news egg. So yeah, we got a lot of action. It looks like it's gonna be a little bit silliness, a little bit fun. This guy's got a flat top, but like actually a flat top.
That's pretty flat.
Oh, there's the sun again. I feel like that one's gonna be powerful.
Yeah, or some kind of unique to the lore.
Yeah, spy versus spy, but with the thumb for a face.
You know, when
Oh jeez, look, this guy's scary.
this art was cut up and little character cards were made by the artist, and I think if you go to the white paper, there may be spy illustrations that tell you a bit more about at least the names of these characters. So
Yeah, he did good on this little overall picture there. Is there white paper?
here's a white paper.
Oh, there's got to be a white paper.
Always a white paper. We'll make $1 trillion, invest in our ICO.
Just a trillion? With dreams that small, no one's gonna buy it. Yeah. Come on, this is
Trillion
ICO.
X return.
Trillion X. There you go.
$5
Now we're talking. Trillion X return.
Right.
Yeah. Your own bag.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
That's cool.
So, yeah.
So the guy you choose. So when you get your card, this is the player. The player is the sun. Yeah, you pick your type, and then you'll have
Everything is the
stats.
sun.
Before you play it, you print it, you make it, sleeve, equip, and then you battle. Yeah, our projector is just not having it today.
Ouch.
Please give us $50 million.
Yes. It is just
Yeah, standard.
pouring in.
Yeah,
I guess
okay.
there aren't any card. I thought this one had the card illustrations. But
No, well, they kind of did. There's a lot of pages, man.
yeah.
14-page white paper.
Well, and again, at both points at the end.
Not bad.
Make some.
Not bad, yeah. Oh, hold on. I have a system. I have a trick when I have one thing that I look for in white papers.
Okay.
I look for the word. I look for its BPP ratio,
Okay.
blockchains per page.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so it looks like you're running at about a 2. Two
blockchains.
blockchains per page.
Is that high or is that good or bad?
It's average. Most of the time, it's way up
Wait,
there.
do you
Yeah.
want it higher or lower?
Well, generally, like you want more blockchains.
How many
right?
times
You're
you
chilling.
use the word
That's what makes
blockchain?
blockchains powerful. The more you
Yeah,
have.
so that was just block. Yeah, so
Same
blockchain's
with blockchain,
20 actually.
blockchain.
You're only at about 1.5.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a pretty good ratio.
That's
The
okay.
word
Yeah, you say blockchain 1.5 times per page.
So is there a sweet spot for credibility?
Yeah,
when
what's
you
the
start
Yeah, it's probably a lot lower.
when you start comparing to Bitcoin and like games, and the second you start talking about money and how people are going to get rich off it, that's when your credibility goes.
You can say blockchain lots.
Yeah, modeling.
Yeah, we got 20 blockchains.
Yeah, don't say hodl. No, like the second I say hodl,
So, yeah.
Caps.
I think in the white paper there is I got in trouble with this for a report. I did an interview in Seattle, and he took me to task because I think somewhere in the white paper there is the word crypto libertarian.
Crypto libertarian.
He took great exception to that, and well, I don't know. That was a flag, and so I don't know if maybe I was in the movement because I don't want to.
I don't think it's here.
Exactly.
You said like.
I don't even.
Oh, it's here. It's here. Crypto libertarian.
There you go.
In a more freewheeling crypto libertarian scenario, we can still rely on terms of use that outlines what we consider inappropriate content and a side server for recording.
Seems like a normal use of the word to me.
Use of the word crypto libertarian for you.
You weren't using it in a fashion that's politically biased or like crypto libertarianism is good or bad. You were just using it as an adjective.
It was enough to set off a red flag.
A crypto fascist?
Bureaucrats.
To make sure. So people do pay attention to the language.
Oh,
we've
too
got
much even.
Actually, I just need to just rewrite it and sign up the white papers. We've got a lot more opinion on it since this was written almost 2 years ago.
That is how it goes, right? Yeah, you guys. It does go that way.
Too busy writing the chain.
Yeah, too busy writing the white paper, man.
Maybe get back to white papers.
Yeah. I wish we could get a beta key going. Maybe we could have put some beta action on stream.
If there's an AI that can turn a white paper into a technology, it's read the white paper and then
That'd be the best AI ever.
create the technology.
Society would already be.
I'm gonna write a white paper about that.
At our end goal.
Write a white paper about you're gonna do an ICO for an AI that understands white papers and turns them into finished projects. Because then people will only need to write the white paper, and then we'd have everything. Because people are really good at thinking up shit.
All right, guys, thanks.
You can go fundraise on this right away. Oh, it's so good.
Any more questions, guys? Mike, I see you. Point. The camera can't see you, but I'm pointing at you.
Pretty doxed.
Dox me, bro. Don't dox me,
There's
bro.
more than one Mike in this community.
No, there isn't. Yeah, so was there consideration of building on other chains before you decided you'd make your own?
Yeah, I spent a long time looking at other projects to the point where it was too much. I remember sitting down one day at around 2 p.m. and getting after reading all the white papers. We looked at major chains, obviously, we looked at the usual suspects.
Yeah, ETH and stuff.
Obviously, and it's one of the things people say. It's like, well, it's built underneath.
Yeah, it's built underneath.
Okay, well,
that's what I say.
Yeah, it doesn't quite meet our needs in terms of what we want to do around governance and making the creating purposeful chain. So, but yeah, and it's honestly, I said there were a lot of tough decisions made in terms of what we want to accomplish. It's very hard to walk away from that because there's a huge community there. There's a lot of ETH being circulated, and from a purely cynical standpoint, yeah, we had to just build something on ETH, and
you can use more than one platform as well.
Yeah.
Some projects, for example, Chibi Fighters, which I play,
Yeah.
is on both Ethereum and Tron.
Yeah.
I don't play the Tron version, obviously.
Obviously.
But you can do that, and in fact, they will have like developer grants.
Mhm.
If you build a game on their platform, they incentivize you to do so. So some of these devs are collecting, right? They
Right.
want to get the grant from both platforms,
Right.
to try to use as many as they can.
Right. Yeah, we didn't do that path, and certainly other people, if this works, will make print-on-demand games on ETH and other platforms. They don't need our wonky governance model, or way of thinking about consensus to do that. So, yeah, you'll see people do that a lot for sure.
Yeah, I like the proof of what are you calling it?
Exactly.
Print on demand?
Proof of whatever it'll be.
Proof of print?
We get to name it.
Oh no.
He
Well,
said
wait till the white paper's out, then you can name it
after
Proofy
Yeah.
McProofface.
Proof of packs.
Proofy McProofface. No,
Proofy proof face.
that's copying the British with their boat.
Oh, yeah,
Boat face.
You get the British Columbia spin on
yeah, it's British Columbia spin.
it.
We can think of something.
I still like proof of packs.
We'll think about it more.
Apparently he doesn't like that one.
No. Well, it's too bad there's not more for us to like watch.
Yeah, you see, we didn't have the demo, but we didn't even get a demo up and running today.
Fine, by the way, thank you for having me anyway, even though it's just my boring self.
Well, it seems to be like, you know, a lot of projects in the crypto space go the opposite route, where they don't do a lot of development, and majority of their attention is paid to marketing the stuff they're not doing, or that they will do,
Yeah.
hypothetically.
We are guilty of investing a bit in publicity early on, and we got to pretty
Yeah, I
good
remember
traction.
seeing it, and then you just
We
stopped.
stopped. Well, the reason we stopped
I was
is
like, did they disappear?
not at all. In fact, I can speak to what we're doing, and it was very interesting because we got traction right away with editors who are in the space and were very enthusiastic about. Probably these guys are cool. We got some very nice coverage, but publicity is something, you know, it's an animal you got to feed, and it's another expense. And so we thought, let's go dark and focus. We'll come back and surface.
Yeah.
Kind of
Do
testing,
it right, you know.
testing the reception, I guess.
Yeah, and timing is a lot too. With the supposed bull run happening again, like it's probably started.
Oh, it's for sure, man.
The bottom
We're
is
back.
friggin' in, boys. All season. But yeah, with the more hype coming back, like it's a lot better time to launch things. The more people are attracted to it for the monetary gains, they're more likely to find other stuff. So like during downturn, it's like hard. People just look away by nature.
However, a lot
But
of
during the uptake, the hype will get you.
yeah, and I think a lot in general the chatter went down during the downturn because we
Oh, yeah.
throw money down the well to try and keep people engaged. And we got our core supporters who were interested in waiting for the data to drop, and so we're just kind of holding that for now.
What's the gameplay of your game like? I played Magic, Pokemon, little bit of Yu-Gi-Oh, all of that. But, you know, what is you have cards, you have creatures, you have hit points, you have life points.
Yeah, sign up for the beta and check it out. It's very similar in play to games you're already familiar with. We wanted to kind of hit that sweet spot of being an accessible game with deep enough strategy. It's got the stuff you would expect, given, you know, Volition flavor take on that. But rather than having me try and talk about the gameplay and mess it up, Ken's the game designer. But reach out to Ken and sign up for the beta if you're interested.
How much does the beta show? Could we have had done that live today?
Play a game?
Yeah, we probably should have.
Yeah, we could have printed out some cards. You guys could have played.
Oh yeah. So even with the beta, it's not a case of it being like online, right? It's a printout game.
Yeah.
Yeah. So even then, yeah, we really should have been prepared for that.
I think we did the right thing because we're talking about crypto ideas here.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we've been playing this. You guys playing a trading card game you never played before. So
Yeah. What does this one do?
It's a different.
What does this one
Well, if
do?
we'd known about the beta that we could play it actively, we might have tried. Although it's good.
Yeah, the goal would have been to have it on the stream, but yeah, it's tough to
turning off.
do a card. It's like when we had the Pogs guy here, it was still like got down, play freaking Pogs.
Yeah.
Right?
I did that.
That was awesome, but it was still yeah. It's a good point. It's like when it's a live game. So yeah, that's actually another new take on like a way to do a good blockchain game. Is like print on demand. Yeah, everything's on demand these days. Yeah, print on demand.
Well, think about collectibles and what you value in a collectible. It's the thing or the idea of the thing. Thing can be destroyed and recreated instantly. What do you collect?
Have other people printed cards who played the beta already?
Mhm.
Like taken pictures of them?
Yeah.
Oh, you should have told me that. I couldn't see the pictures.
After
I asked you. That's okay. You can come back. You live in Seattle.
Hey,
lunch.
You gotta save something, for the next.
All right, you can
You
come
can't
back.
just give it all away right now.
Yeah, eventually.
Eventually.
Yeah. It's fun. Have you noticed how many blockchain gaming devs are coming from the American Northwest?
Yeah, it's nice.
In the Portland and Seattle region, what do you call it? Pacific
Yeah, it's
Northwest.
a hotbed of video and hobby game developers there. It's a whole cottage industry. Wizards is there, and then a whole bunch of other hobby publishers.
Maybe just because they're close to us geographically, so we notice them.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, they're right down the street.
Yeah. There's the Horde guys from there, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And
See Bob Ross.
the Hash Kings guy, and there's there's a third person I'm forgetting because he didn't make it yet, I think. Anyway, but you get the point. It's really growing. Like a lot of traditional game devs are starting to notice. I'm starting to get the sense like your background was way more as a game developer than as a crypto developer.
Yes, this is my first crypto project, and like I said, I have cryptography experience, but I'm a game engine programmer.
Well, that's good. We need that. More game makers. Originally, games were very forceful. So the The first blockchain games, I started writing about them in 2014, and most of the first ones lacked any game dev experience and all crypto dev experience, so the game sucked.
There's like some crypto nerds are like, I'm making a video game.
It's like
The mechanics will be crazy, and everyone's like,
Oh,
these
they
mechanics.
were.
yeah,
They're crazy, all right.
yeah, they're crazy, all right. Well, that's
I'm
awesome.
glad that's changed. And then now we've been seeing consoles. You heard of some of the large mainstream players getting involved lately? Like the Unreal Engine is going to work with a blockchain gaming platform.
Yeah, it's I want to see something better than inventory systems and multiverse stuff because I don't.
Yeah, I'm glad that we get that, and it's cool, and it gives like a way for all games to like have some aspect of like to get better. It does make these games better.
Gotta buy into that.
Yeah, but it makes the games better, and the idea is that once the games become better because of it, it becomes like, oh, they have to over time, and they are starting to buy into it. But I want to see like this, like what you're doing, like the next level of things. It's like, okay, now we have collectibles we print out. Like, how does the blockchain work in the game, or is it just a token? Right? We got to get the next level stuff, and we're getting there, like slowly, right? It's not gonna happen overnight, but it's good to see these these interesting new things come out for blockchain gaming.
People think I'm radical, but I'm waiting for full serverlessness.
Yeah.
Decentralization.
Mhm.
You can store maps on a blockchain. You can store the entirety of the game state on a blockchain, such that you could make in a decentralized MMO. It's difficult, and especially when we look at scaling and people. So the people who want to do that now are heavily invested in research into sharding and the Lightning Network and means of doing that. Like, for example, if it's suppose you're in a game like, oh man, you name games, like Total War. You ever played Total War? Or think of a game where there's a larger campaign map, but when two armies meet, a secondary, like, real-time battle emerges.
Okay, yeah.
The whole world doesn't need to know what's happening every second of your real-time battle.
Right.
They just need to know who won.
Right.
We're essentially talking about lightning channels at this point.
Yeah.
But we're just not there yet.
Yeah.
And so I've been waiting since 2014, and I'll keep waiting. It's gonna happen. But I've enjoyed the NFTs because I view it as a stepping stone.
Yeah.
To what I think will happen. And since the tech's not there yet for full decentralization anyway, I enjoy the NFT experiments.
So that's what we got.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, so they showed the value that we were really excited by CryptoKitties because it was a clear indicator.
There's
something here. Yeah,
There's
it's
something.
really there.
All right. Well, yeah. So, any other questions? Doing good? I think we're good. So,
Question, guys, over there.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. So, thank you, Patrick, for coming up. And thank you, Andrew, for inviting Patrick and helping do this. Thank you, me, for hosting, I guess.
Right.
Woo.
I always forget to check our chat room.
I've been checking the chat room. No one said anything. I got it on the screen this time. So, we're gonna end the stream now. Thank you, everyone. Whenever you're watching this, for tuning in. In 2 weeks, we'll see you for another newscast.
Yes.
And then 2 weeks after that, we'll have someone else in our cool place here. And if you're anywhere near Vancouver, you can always come to these live and come hang out in our weird hacker basement.
It's great.
It's a secret Bitcoin lair. It's like pretty cool. So you should be here. All right. Bye, everyone.